It is November 26, 2023, and it is winter now, and it's 0 Celsius degrees, and when I wake up in the morning, is it a little like snow, frost on the ground, but it's go away in the lunchtime, because I live in a very south of Sweden, so we don't have so much winter here, but it's still grey weather mostly every day, and cold. This morning I was surprised because I were sleeping so very much. I normally not have done that since the Gaza war have started. But I was up a little in the night, but was very sleepy, so it was not much interrupt of the night. I was happy for that, because it was about 9 o'clock in the morning, so it was light inside my room. And then I should go and take a shower, and then I saw it. It was many scratch wounds, lightly wounds on my skin, and I have taken a picture of some of them, and the episode cover is on 2 pictures I have put together, each leg, how it looked like on the tights, a little on the side, and inside my tights. I don't know how it looked like in other places on my body, as I am on my own, so I can't see how the full body. But it is, you can see that it's a new scratch. So I took a shower in the lunchtime, and so it's new scratch marks that you can see. And it is full moon this evening, and it's where I have this UFO have coming into my bedroom some of these full moons, and mostly is it when the full moon is on its way to go down. It have already been full moon and is on its way down. And I have told you about this, about UFO, how I come to understand it, this to surf on the moon that they are doing. And it was, I have said it already in a chapter, but I tell a little today also. So it was when I have moved away from my daughter's father, and was in a small apartment, and didn't have so much money, and because I was studying at the university. And then I come to know a man and I was together with him for a short time. And he had this shortwave radio station, a really big, and he it was on a mountain. He had this antenna, and we surf. We come to Russia and could talk with Russia. No, it doesn't work all over the world. It's only that moon that we have here. Of course, we have the same moon, but it's in the moon is standing in the sky differently. In Australia, under us, India, they have another moon, but the same moon, of course, but it's standing in a different way in the sky. And so the best to surf on was when it was full moon and many stars in the sky. So we did that, and he could Morse talking also. So it was exciting, even if it was a little old way to do it, as we had a computer in that time. It was 1997, but it was interesting to learn. And then it's come to just before I met him, I was in the military, but I didn't know the technical about the ham radio. I had a ham radio, and I don't remember if it was that because we would be together, he and me, because we were in a interest group for people that use ham radios. And it was a little interesting, but it was odd as I was in computers. So, but I was into radio stations for ham radios, and so how it works. And so I know this about a full moon, and if it's clear in the sky and much stars, that is the best time to do the ham radio, to reach as far as you can. And that I have been in contact with UFO before I knew God. I had them first coming to me, and they explained for me. One maybe had started to know God a little when they come and talk to me where they were, and they told me that they just were on a planet just after our solar system, but they took energy from Uranus, and that blue planet with many layers, and so it's hard for us to know what's inside that planet, because it's hiding behind many tracks of small moons, planets, small, and that have no name. And they told me that they surf on the planets. They take. That's why they are circle formed. The spaceship is circle formed that they travel with, and it's because they like put the edge of the spaceship just they don't hit the planet, but around the planet is it electricity, and they feed the spaceship by targeting just the edge of planets to come down here. But then is it also this triangle formed UFO, and they are more stationary. They are already here on Earth. They have placed them in some places here on Earth, and then they have those circle formed that going into this triangle to go where they want to go, to have many spaceship in one place, and they also repair them there. They are very big, those black triangle formed spaceship, and it seems like the circle form can be in many sizes, and because it's like a plate that we eat on. That size can it be, as it can be like a big car. It is those spaceship is constructed like they can change the size of them, and it is mother spaceship that is those really important things, that is those that make the telepathy to us people. It's not those with a circle. They disturbing the circle form disturb us because of the electricity. They like it steal electricity from us, so it can stop a car, for example. But the triangle form is those real office houses, if you say like that. This is commanders there, and they have this telepathy, a way to talk to us. And I don't know if they are coming and talk to us now when I'm recording. I will see or hear. But it is this that I had already been paid for 2 years my website. So I have been working a little with my website, and I'm going to place information on this chapter that I'm recording now, a little where to find my website. But the website is in English, and it is John john16and12.com. I have this com name, URL address, john16 and I write it and 12.com, and I started to place from the archive chapters that is today I have placed two of my podcast chapters. Those two first I did, and it is, as it look like it's not many that have find it. I don't know what's the reason are, but you can find it on my website, the recording, and I'm going to place all this chapter that is, it doesn't work to see, because it's, I can only have 500 chapter, but I have over 650 chapters recording, so it will be those that is missing in this list of chapter that you can listen at, those oldest that was 43 years ago, and you need to remember that is for 3 years ago I told what should happen today. It's not me that have been talking, but what I receive from the spirit world. They tell me, and my website, john16 and 12.com, I named it because there was something very important for me to tell my listener, my followers, that john16 and 12, it talking about that Jesus couldn't tell his disciple everything because they were so they were in that time, so they didn't have any airplane, they have no cars, they have no internet, they don't even have a radio. How could he talk to them about those things? They should only laughing at him or tell him that he was a liar and leave him. So he had a border, he have a limit where what he could talk about, but he didn't say that he had things to tell them, and it's things only for him because the time was not right there, and it was for 2,000 years ago, and so he had to kept it by himself. But now we have come so far in the technical things, so people still are suspicion and think it's crazy what we are telling them, but it's have coming closer for people to understand what we're talking about, and it's but the sad thing is that people that believe in in UFO, they don't believe in God. And those that believe in God, they don't believe in UFO. And that's a connection. I try to work on it, and it's hard to talk about UFO as people be so suspicious, and it is not clearly in the Bible about it. And if they had know everything like we know today, Jesus have told his disciple, but he couldn't. He knew about it, and he says that when the Spirit of truth is coming, he will tell you about everything, and not hide anything. And that's, I don't know if I have the Spirit of truth, that I am the only one that have that. I don't want to say that. It's up to you to decide you if you believe that I am not the Spirit of truth, but I have the Spirit of truth around me here in my home, and have had it since at least 2015. But no one have received it, because they have been in this old school, old church, this Muslim and Catholic, Christian and Jewish, and all those is from the old, and that is not today. We can include it in what we read and understand, but you that follow me, that understand that I'm talking about the truth, and I try to learn you, to teach you what it is about. And then in one place it says the spirit of error, and that is very hard to understand if you have not understand my education and what I hear from the spirit of truth, that the spirit of error, it is when people don't understand, when people denied what's going on, that they only believe in books, and they don't believe that the spirit things happen today also. And I understand this, that this can be very hard for you to understand this with Gaza, Israel and those things, and other war that's going on in Russia and Ukraine. When you don't understand that we live in the last days, and the last day is very close to us now. And I have told you that when I see those rockets on my television live broadcasting from, it's mostly from Gaza, then I hope that those lights that coming in the sky should be UFO spaceship. I'm really waiting for them to come. And it's like maybe this night that they prepare me for something. It's very strange. I have on my arms also scratch marks that like they have been in my home and have maybe lifted me up in the air and scratched me in that way, because those fingers they have is not like ours hands. They are like bones reaching out, and they scratch the body. And you can see in the picture of the covering of this chapter that is fresh. It's I have taken that picture just before I started this recording, so it's very fresh. And but it's not bleeding. It very almost never a bleeding. They scratch very gentle on the skin, so it's be a little blood in the tracks, but it's not dripping blood from it. So they try to take me gentle, but it's hard if their fingers is only bones. And I don't know if they have lifted me up and then in that way make me sleep the whole night. So it's much going on, and I can't tell that the aliens are coming now because of the wars that's going on in the world, because they have been to me many times in many years now. They started make me could understand that they were with me in 1978, and then they have educated me. I have told you how they educate me the first year. They make me know that they were around me in my home, that I thought it was very fun to sit in the air. They make me could sit in the air and sit for a long time, only in the air. So I think it have with the spirit world to do, that they wanted me to feel this, that I had no weight in my body. I only sit and thought it was very fun. But then they started to lift me out from my bedroom, and I started to feel like a fly that is up in the ceiling, and turn my head was in, like jumping in the ceiling, but not very hard, so I don't get any bumps in my head. It was only that I felt the ceiling in my head, and I was flying like that. But then one day they took me out from my bedroom, and it was 1977, 78, because my son was about 2 years old and he was sleeping in the room, but they didn't take him. I was a little worried that I left him, but I wanted to know. I was curious where they will bring me. So one day they took me out in the air, and suddenly I come to heaven. It was a planet, and I have made a drawing about it that you can see on one chapter there. And I maybe place it on my website also, how it looked like. And I saw it from the air, and I felt I had someone with me that took me to that place, and that it was a big meadow, and then it was a city. And in that time, I didn't know about Jerusalem. I didn't know what they showing me, but it was Jerusalem. It was this golden roof, in the city, and around the city was it a wall. So those that was in the meadow, they couldn't come into the city, because the gate was very, very slim. And I had not read about it. It was what I saw, and not what I read. And it was like a flower that was going up around that gate, and it was a red flower. So I think, I believe that, but I can't know the truth, but I think it was the Rose of Sharon that was around this tight gate. And I wanted to go in there. It was not the road. There was no cars. It was you fly there. And I didn't know, because I didn't know God. I didn't know about the Bible or nothing. And I say to this one that showed me this planet, and I say to him that I want to go into that city. I want to be in that city, I say to this that followed me and took me there. And the voice was saying, like it say, that voice have said that to many people. But he was saying to me that it was not my time yet. So did he say to me, and then I come back to my bed again. But that was before I knew God. It have not been any special if it was that I have read the Bible and got the imagine the planet and heaven, how it looked like, because I didn't know how it looked like. I had not read it. So it was my way to come to know how heaven looked like. But then I have been in hypnosis, and I have been up to heaven. But that heaven I come to have not been like this planet that I was up to in 1978. It was more darker, and I had to go on a path to come to someone to talk to, and it was not this bright light that was on that planet that I come to in 1978. But I have been there, because I go up in those like caves, and then I come to that place where the Mother of God, the Creator of God, the energy, the female energies, was sitting, and I talked to her and asked her if I could come into heaven, if I was allowed to come into heaven. And she let me come into heaven. And when I opened, it was 2 doors to open. And the first door it was like that heaven I had seen 1978. And when I come into heaven from the door, there were people waiting for me in white robe, white clothes, and they were all was the same age, but it was both men and women. It's not only men that going into heaven. They were about maybe around 40, and they were singing, and then they showed me their landscape. They were not talking to me, they only singing. And later on, it was an angel that told me that what you heard from those people that welcome me into heaven, the song I heard was not from their mouth. It come from their heart, because they were so happy. It was so joy to be in heaven. So their heart was singing. They didn't talk to me. Their heart was singing. And then I go into the other door, the next door, because I ask the energy where to find my husband. I was into to find a husband, and she was saying to me that it's open that doors, you will see him. And I come into a room, and it was cloudy. It was in a gray scale and everything. And then it was about 10 people that was standing in the landscape and wait for me. But I was not allowed to come close to them. I only saw them, not in really far distance, but maybe like 15 meters from me. And they were no details in there. It was only like gray and white. They were not in a really white robe. It was gray. And Dan, that have hypnosis me, he asked me if I recognize these people that was standing there. And I told him that those people I don't know, because I have not met them yet. I told Dan that. He thought that was because he was into psychology. So he thought it was some in my past that stood there. But I say I don't know them because I have not met them yet. It was in the future I will meet these people that was, and it was a real tall man I saw, but I didn't see how he looked like in his face. But I saw that he was much taller than those other people that was there, and it was maybe the youngest of this group of people. They were different age on them, and the youngest maybe was 10 years old. So that was spirits that have already coming to heaven and waiting for me. That was my real family waiting for me. But I couldn't see them yet because I was not in the spirit way to stay in heaven. I was in the spirit, but I was not ready to stay in heaven. So I couldn't see what was in my future. So, um, this is it's someone. You maybe noticed that when I was talking, I got some gasping in my mouth because it was someone coming into me, and it's total white. It is very thin thing, but I can't see who it is, and it can be. It doesn't need to be a spirit in afterlife. From afterlife, it can be those aliens, because they are very close to Earth just now, where I live, because it's full moon, and I think I don't want to sleep in this night, but they maybe have already done what they should do with me. In the last night it was, when I get this scratching. And I try to talk to this one, and he say it's not the meaning that you should see me. He say that to me, and I ask him why he is here when I have hard to get the contact with him. He say that is what I'm talking about in the future. He's saying that, but it's maybe too scaring to see him, because it's look like he walking on like 4 legs, or he walking with his legs and arms on the floor, in the air, not in the floor but in the air. And I see that he look at me, his turn like that, and I wish I had other people with me so I could ask you questions, but maybe you have something to tell us of what's going on. He say that they are. I have something to tell us. He say that they are looking at the world, how it look like now, how it is on this planet. They say they are like waiting for something big to happen before they start to come and spread all over the world. He's saying that they are like a protector of this world that we live in, and he say, you know that we have met, you and me, sometimes in the past we have done that, and I know that we have done that because it have been strange things in my life before God come and talked to me in the year 2000. But before that, when I was living in Texas with my husband, there was many things that happened. And my husband also knew what I was talking about, but he never said that he worked with me, but he don't say I did lie or try to explain it in a different way. He only took it, but he never talked about it. But when he got a heart attack, he told me that his mother and father come and grab his hand and want him to come with them into heaven. And another time when we were in Euro Disney, and we were at our hotel, and I said to my husband, that I see two people here that is not in this world, but there is two people, older people, that sit there in a meeting place, and then suddenly it come a couple, and they were sitting in the same sofa. So they were sitting on this ghost or spirit that I saw. And I say to my husband, I want to see what will happen when they sit in their lap, what the spirit will do with them. And it took very short time, and suddenly they went up from the sofa and was going angry. They start to fight with each other. They go very angry at each other. And I thought it was very strange that the spirit that was in the sofa, they make them to be in fight with each other. They were calm when they sit down in the sofa, but they be very angry at each other. And then it was this time when I saw like the boy in the Hitler Jugend group, those small boys that did a small errand for Nazis. The boy was sitting in this bedroom, and I asked him why he was sitting and hide his head like he was crying. And he told me that he had told the Nazis that about his parents, and they killed the parents, and that was their child that told the Nazis that they had done, if they were Jewish or have done something, and he get them killed. And I told him that in heaven they understand, they know everything about you. It's they that judge. You can't judge by yourself. It's those in afterlife that will judge you. And they say that you are okay. You have not been an evil person, but dumb when you did that to your parents. And they are going to be happy to see you in heaven. They will welcome you. They're waiting for you. I told him. And then suddenly he stand up in the spirit way, because he was dead, of course, for a long time ago. And then he start to run into those in heaven, if it was angels in the room that waiting for him. But I felt him in my body when he was running. And the very strange was that my husband, he felt it also. That boy was running from me, inside me, he running. And then my husband was laying on the side and listened what I was telling him. And my husband felt the running of the boy in his body also. That he go inside both of us and running to heaven. So I had many things in Texas also before I met God, and something that I have thinking to tell you about. It can be dangerous to be like me, to know things that I should not know, because there was a woman that was, I don't know how we come contact with each other, but she asked me if I knew where her husband or boyfriend was, because he had run away from her. And I told her the whole story about her husband. I could tell her how he looked like and what the other woman looked like that he was running to. And then after some days, my telephone was ringing, and it was the same woman, and she said, have you, my husband, my boyfriend, with you there where you live? She say. So how can you know everything about my man and not have met him? So you must have him there, she say, and I be scared because she believed that I have taken her husband from her. So it can be dangerous. And I have done some work for the police when I live in, it was before I was to Texas. It was in the middle of the 90s. I worked with the police here in Sweden, and I helped them to understand murdering. And I could tell what it was about. And they go to jail, those people. And so I had this talking to spirit before, but in that time I didn't know God. So in year 2000, God took me out from this world and make me start to walk and start over my life and be needed of God and afterlife to could survive when I was homeless in United States. I didn't know anyone in United States, and I didn't know how it was to be homeless, and I didn't get $1 from United States. I had no money at all, but I survived. I come to know God in that same time. So those what's happened in United States when I was homeless, that will be in the archive I am doing on my website. It's something I have talked about for 3 years ago. So you can listen by going there on my website, and it doesn't cost any money to listen on my website. It's no special programs. It's going through, maybe it's SoundClouds that have it, or someone else's platform. So I am not sure if you need to pay for to listen, but on my website you don't need to listen, and you don't need to pay for to listen. It's free, and I don't know how it is to listen there, but it may be working for you to understand more. You that is my follower, I see on SoundClouds those 2 chapters I did for 3 years ago. There is only 2 people that have listened, so it needs to be listened at, all the chapters. So thank you for listening, and God bless you.